Alright people, so here's the dealio. I got all my parts for the posi track rear end, so that'll be good to go hopefully pretty soon. I just need to get the time to, but I've got the stuff for the posi track laying aside, so we'll get that done pretty soon. And then on top of that, we've got oh yes, a little tick. There's a little tick coming out of the passenger side engine, or head. I think it's just a valve of spring. I think it's just spring. That, and I have an exhaust leak, which also doesn't add add to the fun any. But that's what I've got going on with the car. Small exhaust leak, get that fixed, no big deal. Posi track, which is something I've been planning to do for a while, and then we've got a valve spring that needs tightened up. But other than that, car's still fine, still doing good. I'm going to look at a 400 block today and see what the if I want to put a 400 block in it, a 400 small block in it, or if I want to use the 350 and do a 383 stroker. I think both would be kind of cool. 400 small blocks, more cubic inches. I want to get to 600 wheel. In order to get to 600 wheel, I think I'd probably need to go with the 400, unless I can manage to get a monstrous turbo fuel injection system, and then oh shoot, what was I going to say? We'll get a monstrous turbo, convert it over to fuel injection, or go with a supercharger, a big ass supercharger, and get the 600 wheel that way. But either way, I have to get an engine that'll be pushing 760, close to 800 horsepower at the crank. So with all that being said, I think it'd just be better to go over to a 400 small block. Now obviously I could go over to a big block, but when I go over to a big block, I have to do, there's a bunch of conversions that I'll have to do, especially regarding the transmission, which I'll probably have to change anyway. It's a 350 turbo. I'll probably have to go to 400, even for just the 400 small block. I mean, I thought about a power glide, 2-speed power glide. I thought that'd be kind of cool, shifting at like 80 mile an hour. But we'll see how things work out. The 400 block that I'm going to look at is like $300. It's just the block, which is really all I need, because I'm going to try and pick and choose, cherry pick what parts I want to put into the engine. Obviously, we're trying to get some pretty high horsepower numbers, naturally aspirated. I really don't want to throw a supercharger or turbo on it, but we'll see how the cookie crumbles. But I'm looking for high compression ratio if I can get it naturally aspirated. If not, then we'll drop down the compression ratio a little bit and try and boost it. But with that being said, that's about all that's happened with the car. All right, it is a cold winter December morning here in Southwest Missouri, but I just want to make a small update. So we're in the Chevelle here. Got the posi track rear end installed. I went with a 373 gear, and it's definitely, I run about 3,000 RPM, pull in 60, 65. So my gas gauge, you can visibly watch it just drop, so that's fun. But on top of that, I haven't gotten to really push it yet, because I've got that 500-ish mile break-in period. I'm going to probably go a little bit above that. Probably go like 550, especially because my speedometer, I'm going to have to reset that, because it reads at 3,000 RPM, it reads that I'm going like 110 mile an hour, which is not true, because the semis are passing me. So I know that's not true. But anyway, I'll have to work with that. I had a exhaust manifold gasket basically disintegrate, so I had an exhaust leak, got that fixed, adjusted the rockers, got that fixed because it was giving a little tap every now and then. Fixed that. I do have a rear main leak still. That's, you know, kind of to be expected, but it just happens with those old cars. There's always some leak somewhere. But I've got that 400 small block on the way, so I'm not gonna pay to have somebody else pull the engine out and redo that whenever I'm getting ready to put a new engine in anyway. So we'll just hold out for that one. What else? I think that's about it. It's been busy, especially work. I work 12-hour shifts, trying to take care of the car at the same time, which I need to go get an oil change, and I need new tires because I've done enough burnouts that my one tire is starting to show some heavy wear and my other one isn't. So I'm just going to replace both of them. I still haven't fully decided if I want to try and do it in A or if I want to try and get a power adder, because, you know, these are things I have to think about now before I go starting the build on this, because I've got to decide whether I want to go really high compression ratio and run on, you know, I run on premium right now, but do I want to try and switch over to like an alcohol carb and go E85, or stick to like your premium high octane? Do I want to go with a supercharger and go with a lower compression ratio to then be able to add the power booster to that? These are all things that I really don't know yet, because I'm not sure what's possible with a 400. It is a 2-bolt, which is stronger than the 4 bolts, so I'm good there. It is not a dart block. It's not, you know, your $2,500 grand block. It's just a standard 400 block. I've been looking at some what are they, AFR racing heads, and they're pretty cool little heads. If this is the route I decide to go with in A, I know with the 383 650 wheel really was not possible at all without a power adder. With a 400, I still don't think it's really. I think it's possible, but I don't think it's very likely. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not I want to add a power supply to it. I haven't fully made the decisions yet. I need to talk to somebody who knows more than me to figure that out. But in that case, I can take the 350 out, right, and throw the 350 small block in the charger just to be able to move the car out of the way to work on it in a better location. Otherwise, I just have to tow it, and that's, you know, fun. Plus, there's been like no progress on the charger for the past 3 or 4 months because, quite frankly, I've been caught up with this car, work, just trying to keep up with the videos has been a struggle because there just has not been much content to do. Now that it's wintertime, basically all the car shows are shut down. Maybe you get a car meet like once every 2 months. But my town basically is dead during the winter times. It's very gloomy. There's like 50,000 people here. And during these cold months, it seems like there's like 1,000 people here. Like maybe if you go to Walmart, you'll see a few, you know, cars. And I don't mean fancy cars. I mean like a Tahoe and a Subaru. That's about it. Anyway, I think that's about it. I'm gonna try and go to sleep before I have to go into work tonight, and then maybe I can make a video. I should be at the 500-mile mark by the time I'm off work. I'm just gonna start driving it to and from work, and that should get me over the edge. I do have to be careful though, because with my speedometer reading wrong, my odometer is reading wrong, and thus I'm reading that I'm, you know, moving miles a lot quicker than I actually am. So I think I'm probably like 80 miles. It reads that I've got 80 miles more than what I actually have, because like I said, when I'm on the interstate and driving, I'm going like 110 when in reality I'm going 60. I just sit there and watch my odometer. My odometer was moving about as fast as my damn gas gauge. So that's definitely fun, but I have to take into consideration when I'm counting out my 500 miles that what's shown on the odometer is actually wrong. But we'll get that all figured out at another time. I'll probably push it to like 600 or 650 mileage, and that'll probably be about my 500 realistic 500 mile mark. Plus, I'm not sure how accurate this is anyway. I know the speedometer wasn't super accurate before, so who knows? It's all a guessing game for me. But other than that, the car hasn't really had any issues, so it's still a reliable car. And actually, right now, it is my daily driver because the other car has decided to not be a reliable driver. And I'm still trying to work on getting a new daily driver that's just, you know, a daily driver, nothing special. But at the same time, with me having this channel, even though I've only got like 3 subscribers, I still want to get something that's worthy of some type of content. I just don't know what that would be. I need a reliable daily driver that would be interesting to film a video on every now and then, that doesn't break the bank, because I'm already breaking my bank with this stuff. Yeah. So I don't know what that would be. I thought about getting an F-150 with like the 6.2 in it. It's a full size, or it's a crew cab with a long bed, so it's a big truck. It's a 250, but it had 200,000 miles on it, and it was a 2017. It was a work truck, so I don't think there was much I could have made off of that. Like, yeah, it's a 6.2, but it's at 200,000 miles. I don't even know how long the engine's got left, because if it's a work truck, which is what it's set up, it's a work truck spec, so I'm sure whoever got it, that's what they used it for. So I don't know how hard it was pushed, how hard it wasn't pushed. It could have been a garage kept baby. I doubt it though. Yeah, that doesn't really happen. So I don't know. If anybody has suggestions, drop them down below. I'm trying to find something that's like under that 50 grand mark, because I want to finance it. But I'm also struggling because my credit is so new, with me being young. I don't have a bad credit score, but I don't have credit age to assist me, which is what the banks are wanting. So that puts me in a bit of a pickle, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this off. Riley can cut it down to like 3 minutes of what actually matters. And then hopefully we'll have a video soon. I hope.